The Nerf rival Kronos is a pretty well-loved blaster, and there's some very simple explanations as to why that is. It's a Nerf rival pistol that people have been waiting for. Overall, it's pretty comfortable. It has a 5-round internal magazine that can be upgraded to 6 shots fairly easily, and it can take a segment of K26, which seems to be the latest craze with springers, and it costs $15, which is pretty sweet. However, there was one thing that I immediately did not like about the Kronos when I got my hands on one, and that is the grip. In stock form, the grip is okay. It's not great. It's kind of blocky and chunky and not great to prime on. But when you add a K26 to this blaster, it is super uncomfortable with this little edge of the tack rail right there digging into my palm, and it's not great. I really hate it. Luckily for us Kronos users, especially those of us who have added a K26 into our blaster, there is a new product on the market that helps to solve some of the comfort issues. This is a priming grip extension piece by Greehas that is supposed to make things a bit more comfortable. Full disclosure, I was given the original prototype to give feedback on, and Greehas sent me the final version to just have and/or review. I'm deciding to review it. Wanted to put that out up front. So the grip is a simple little piece, and it's easy to install. All you're gonna need is a Phillips head or flathead screwdriver, your Kronos grip, and your Kronos. Optional and recommended is a smaller diameter screwdriver, as you'll see in a little bit. So first thing you got to do is prime your Kronos, and if you don't want to dry fire it in a little bit, put a round into it. Next, you're going to take your screwdriver and unscrew these screws. And this is where the smaller diameter screwdriver comes into play. If your screws don't fall out like this, just kind of poke them out with something smaller, and then you can put that to the side. Next, you're going to look on the bottom of your grip, and where the wider channel is, that goes in the back, and you just slide it on like so. Line up the holes through the tack rail so that you can see through them. Push your screws into place, or screw them down if need be, if they don't go in the first time, and you just screw them in. Push the primer forward, fire off your shot, and you're done. That's it. That's all you have to do to install the grip. It's very simple. Aesthetically, I think the grip looks really good on the Kronos. It doesn't stick out as big or wonky. It's not like you have a huge block right here on the back of it. And in terms of size, it doesn't take up much more space than on the tack rail. It's a bit higher, and yeah, it's a bit wider, but it really kind of flows with the rest of the shell. And of course, if you get it printed in black, it just blends in with the color scheme very nicely. While the grip is thin and it doesn't add like a huge blocky section for you to grab onto, it does increase the comfort of your prime by quite a bit. Like I was saying earlier, since I have a K26 in this blaster, the way that I had to do it without any sort of grip on it was to grab over the top, put my thumb onto this little ledge right here, put my index finger onto that ledge, and really heft through it, and that would cause the tack rail to dig into my palm, which is very uncomfortable. With the grip on, I have found that I enjoy priming it like this, and that's how I was doing it at the last SCNC event. I was using my palm to prime it back, and I found no discomfort throughout the day, which is really nice. Now, if you don't like priming it with your palm, you can still do it the old way that I was just mentioning, like this, with the fingers on the tabs, and that gives your palm a little bit of a lip to push against instead of the edge of the tack rail, so it's even comfier if you decide to do it that way. And there are other ways you can, you know, grab onto the grip, your finger over the lip right here. The lips really add a lot of kind of extra comfort to it, and you're gonna find a way that you really enjoy just from messing around with the grip. Some users are going to want more than what this grip gives you, maybe in terms of like a higher grip where you can really grab onto it, maybe get you higher up off of the stock grip. I don't know, more contact space, something like that. I totally get it. This isn't going to be for everyone. And if you're worried about the force of a K26 kind of obliterating this thing, the print quality is really good. It feels very solid. I haven't felt any sort of bending or flexing in it. So yeah, this thing is very strong and it just feels really good. If you haven't gotten that yet, it feels really good in my hands. So the price of the grip is $15, which I know is like the same price as the blaster itself, but for those of you who are using a K26 or just a higher than stock spring load, I highly recommend you look into getting this thing because it just makes the priming so much better and gives you some more options to figure out what type of prime really works for you. Oh God, dry fire. Ugh. For those of you who are using a lower spring load, maybe stock or slightly higher than stock, this grip might not You might not see the benefits out of it because you really don't need to have the extra grip on the side or maybe new priming locations. So if you have the stock spring or slightly higher in stock, that's really up to you whether or not you get this grip. But for those of you who have a K26, I highly, highly recommend you look into getting it because it really is that much more comfortable. And I had a blast using this throughout the day with my palm style pushback. I'll have a link in the description to where you can pick this up if you're interested. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, have a great day wherever you are. Pew, pew.